everybody, it's Jenny from Jenny Stitches. Welcome back to my channel today, and it's the return of the Great British Sewing Bee. Yay! So we're on to series 8 now. It's been going for such a long time. And week 1 was last night. It's Thursday morning that I'm recording this. So we're hot off the press. Did you enjoy the episode? I certainly did. It was a really nice start to the series, lovely and gentle. We've got a new presenter in Sarah. I thought she did really well. I've been disappointed to see such a lot of negativity on social media around Sarah replacing Jo, so it was really nice to see her do well, and I saw lots of lovely comments about her afterwards, so that's nice. It's positive vibes only. So week 1 was all about creating a capsule wardrobe. I'm a fan of a capsule wardrobe, and I'm a fan of sewing pieces that work really hard in your wardrobe and are very versatile, so it was a great place to start. It's always a little bit funny at the very beginning of the new series when you can't remember everybody's names and what they're doing, but it was great to meet a whole new raft of sewists in the sewing room, and a new location as well, which is lovely because obviously it's up north now, up the north, so fabulous. I love those old mill buildings, they're just beautiful. So yeah, so anyway, I don't think I'm going to go into as much detail as I did last year with the pattern and fabric recommendations. I was in a slightly different place with time last year because I used to have Thursdays where I wasn't open because I was still in the market, but now obviously the shop is open today. I am sneakily recording this in the corner and hoping that I get 10 minutes undisturbed to chat to you. So I will give you a couple of pattern and fabric recommendations and have a quick chat around the challenges, but we won't go into too much detail. Okay, so the pattern challenge was to make, put that coffee down, was to make a mini skirt, and the pattern that the sewers were given was an A-line skirt, and it had 2 little patch pockets on it. So I've had a quick look through the pattern books this morning, and I've come up with a couple of examples for you. The first of which is New Look 6843. This is a nice little pattern. You can always tell with New Look if it's kind of like a line drawing. It's on the pattern cover rather than a shot model picture, then it's an old design, which means really that it's stood the test of time. So I would say that this is a classic skirt pattern. It says easy 1 hour. Don't believe that. If you're very experienced, then yes, but if you're a beginner, this is a great place to start with a skirt. Obviously the one on the bee had the patch pockets on. I don't have any patterns with the patch pockets on an A-line skirt, but they'd be quite easy to draft and attach yourself. The piping was a nice detail. I was very impressed that Ange, wasn't it? Yep. Made her own piping, which I would thoroughly recommend trying if you've ever got the time or the inclination. It's so much fun to make piping. Maybe I need to get out more. But yeah, 6843, you've got a selection of skirts on there, and we've got this nice A-line shape here, and you could quite easily add patch pockets to that. And they did an exposed zip as well, didn't they? Which was a nice detail. Another good example of a mini skirt is the Sew Over It Ava. You'll have seen me talking about this in my last video because I made one recently. This is an excellent classic mini skirt pattern, so not a great deal more to say on that one. And finally, to really get that A-line classic sticky out shape, I would recommend the Tilly and the Buttons Delphine skirt from her first book, Love at First Stitch, because it's really got that classic 60s style A-line shape. So, on to fabrics. The contestants were encouraged to use Yorkshire wool, which is really cool. Sewing with wool is lovely. That's all I need to say about that. So some examples of what you could use. This is a wool and polyester blend, and it's quite an affordable fabric, this one. It's got 10% wool and it's pink with a little check. Obviously when you bring a check into play, you've got to think about your pattern placement and pattern matching, but if you're careful when you're cutting out, it shouldn't be a problem at all. There was one of the contestants had used quite a large check, and yeah, the placement of the checks on the pockets kind of set my teeth on edge. But that might just be me, but I would hate to do it under that level of pressure, so I am not in a position to criticise. This is another example of something you could use. This is a beautiful herringbone wool, and yep, this one is 100% wool. You can see the design on it there. You would probably, in all realisticness, if that's a word, if you made a 100% wool skirt as they were last night, it would need a lining. Oh, I just knew we would get a customer as soon as I started there. So where was I? I've shown you the wools and we were talking about lining. So yeah, I think in reality, if you were to make a skirt out of 100% wool, you would definitely want to pop a lining in there. Otherwise it could be quite scratchy and stick to tights. So that would be my top tip. Now then, I'm not going to talk about the transformation challenge. There's not really anything I can add there. Personally, I'm not a huge fan of the transformation challenge. Just I always think it's a bit rushed and ends up a little bit silly. And I just think in terms of this week's, I just can't see how you could ever make a nice going out top out of sweatshirting. I don't know, maybe I'm just not imaginative enough. Probably not, to be fair. That's why I don't go on to Sewing Bee, but no, it didn't work for me. Anyway, moving on. The Made to Measure challenge, which I actually missed the very, very end of, which was so annoying. I was watching on demand because by the time I got the children to bed and things, I couldn't watch until about 8:30. So I was watching through my Freeview box, and when it came to 9 o'clock, it turned off. So I missed like the very last bit. But yes, they made a wrap dress. Hallelujah, a perfect sort of wardrobe staple, and yeah, I have no end of, I could probably show you 10 to 15 wrap dress patterns, but I have picked a few which I think are standout classics. So I will start with the Cashmerette Appleton dress. This has got a really good size range on it, and I have never seen a bad word said about this pattern. It comes with various cup sizes and so on, and there's lots of options for you to customise it. So I think what's nice on this particular pattern is you can see it's got the contrast bands. Just pop this down again, it's going cold now. Yep, so it's got the contrast bands, which is similar to what some of the contestants did. This is drafted for jersey knit, so you're going to be wanting to look for jerseys with really good stretch and drape. If you are making a knit wrap dress, I would always recommend a viscose jersey for that, because it's going to drape that bit nicer than a cotton jersey. However, cotton jersey will be fine. So that's a Cashmerette Appleton, I like that one. We've also got the Closet Core Elodie. This is a lovely pattern for beginners, basically. It'd make a great first dress project because you don't have a zip closure or anything complicated like that. I think it was possibly Richie, it's going to take a while to get used to all the names, was making a dress with a kind of kimono inspired sleeve, and that's kind of where we are here with like this large grown on sleeve situation. I've seen this one made up by a few of my customers now, and it looks beautiful, and yeah, lots of positive feedback about it. This one is drafted for wovens, and you can pretty much go with whatever weight of woven you choose, and that was proved to me recently by a customer of mine had made it in corduroy, and it came out absolutely gorgeous. So she'd made a winter version there. You can make a summer version with say a viscose or a cotton lawn, nice lightweight woven, or even a lightweight denim would work nicely to make something like this. So yeah, a lovely option in the Elodie, and you've got 2 length options there. And finally, the last wrap dress that I will show you is Simplicity 8637. I made this myself last summer, and it's a cracker of a pattern. Once you've got your fit sort of sorted, it's got bust darts and darts in the front, but it's got multiple sleeve options. There's a ruffly sleeve, there's hem options for a dipped hem we've got going on there, and a ruffle which travels all the way around, which is what I did with mine. So yeah, ticks a lot of boxes, that pattern, which is nice. Fabrics wise for that one, again, you'd be looking at lightweight wovens, so viscose, cotton lawn. This is a cotton lawn, this is the Darling Buds, and you can see how that drapes and hangs there. It's going to be lovely for sort of lightweight summer type frock, or maybe the viscose. Viscose is the ultimate for fluidity, so if we're looking at ruffles and fluted sleeves, say, that's gonna really get that movement on the go. And finally, I will just show you, well, not finally, I have another option. This is viscose jersey, and yeah, it's sort of reminiscent of one of the contestants' names are going again. Had a black and white inspired dress, and yeah, that kind of reminded me of this one. But yeah, great stretch and recovery on there. And the last one I will show you is Gingham. I think would make a good option. Brogan was using a gingham, reminded me of the black cotton gingham that we've got. This is a 1/4 inch, so please focus. It's not going to, is it? But yeah, this is a lovely quality, good weight cotton gingham, so nice and easy to sew with. So I hope that was helpful in some respect. I'm really excited to see how the series progresses now, so I will pop links to all of the patterns and fabrics below, and if you've got any questions, do feel free to ask. Ooh, my hair looks a mess today. You get days like that, don't you? Anyway, I'm going to go and get this edited and uploaded for you now, and hopefully we will speak next week. I will see how long I can keep it up for this year. Last year I had to stop a little bit earlier because it coincided with the move to the shop, so we'll see how we go on. Anyway, you take care, have a lovely week, and happy sewing.